Hello, Aries. Welcome back to Path of Enlightenment Tarot. For those of you returning to the channel, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I am Nicole. Aries, this is going to be your October 2024 reading. This will be for your sun, your moon, your rising, and your Venus cross watcher. If that is you, welcome to the channel as well. Aries, I'm a little late getting this out, right? Of course, things happen, and here we are. But we're going to get these videos out to all of you for October and circle back around to the things that need to be addressed. So, Aries, cross watcher, if you're joining the channel today, thank you so very much. And also, you flip the roles, discern accordingly. If you're here, you know the rules. So, Aries, we're going to jump straight into your reading. I will also let you know channel memberships are now open and have been for a little while. That information, I believe, is in the community section of the page. So you can join the membership there for, there's 2 different tiers there, so check that out as well. And then thank you to everybody who's liked, shared, subscribed, commented, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all the ways that you support this channel and myself. And each other here as well. And personal reads are open and available, and that information can be found in the description box below, as well as the about section of the page. So Aries, with that, let's get rolling into your read here. The one thing I was picking up on with meditation was like this upward swirl of energy, like kind of going through the third eye and like out the right side of the brain or head to the heavens. So I don't know what that is signifying of, but we'll see. Spirit's saying right off the bat, a fresh new start in something here. So let's see what is what's transpiring, right? All right, Aries, for the month of October, Spirit, what does Aries need to know? They're saying something about a trine, and I don't know what's trining what or what's in conjunction with what. I honestly have no idea. So maybe take a look at the astrology right now, see how that might be affecting you at this time. Patience comes out with the throat chakra card. Archangel Gabriel. Let's see here, Aries. The deceit card laying underneath that, this could be a time, Spirit is saying, like a voice of reason, maybe reasoning with yourself, holding back on communication of some situation and or issue. Some of you could be having throat problems as well. I'm no doctor, no psychologist, no licensed whatever that they expect us to be in this world, right? So just a heads up on that. 7, this is a boundary of letting your guard down maybe a little bit, Aries, needing to just be forthright. Somebody could be, I feel like somebody's looking at you and going, you're not being honest. You're not being authentic. There's something that you're withholding from me. And I feel like somebody's waiting on you, Aries, to make some sort of move here, is honestly how this feels. And it's like, whatever you're withholding, I don't think is malicious in any sense of the word. It feels to me like you're just not quite there to make whatever move this is, or to do whatever this is that is being expected of you, or what somebody wants from you in regards to some kind of communication or understanding of something as well. So there's something that's significant to that, and why things feel dented in. There's, your communications at this point, 2 Aries, could be with God, your higher self, anything outside of you that is not of this earthly plane. And I feel like someone else is looking at you going, I'm sick of waiting. I'm sick of, they're wanting something from you that maybe they feel, and again, this could be you. Maybe they feel like they put something on hold, waiting on you to make a decision or a move on something, or wanting you to kind of start to get something going. And there doesn't feel to be a lot of movement. Like there's a birth of creation here too. So some of you, maybe you're dealing with a partner that is pregnant. Maybe you yourself are pregnant, but there's a birth. And it's also feeling like something is being put on hold. You can't rush this process, but at the same time, there's some type of communication that needs to happen in regards to this new cycle that's wanting to emerge. I don't know. It's like everything outside of you, Spirit is saying, and everything within you, attachment. Some of you could be dealing with partners with toxic issues at hand. There's so much to this. Everybody is going to have a different story, right? Everybody's experience is different. Some of you could be dealing with toxic partners. The one scenario that Spirit is drawing to my attention is, if you're, we'll just say pregnant with a child to somebody who is living in a toxic situation, you could also be waiting on them to kind of clean up their act, is what I'm hearing from Spirit. But somebody, this does give me the feel, whether this is you, Aries, or a person that you're dealing with, somebody here is waiting on somebody to kind of get their shit together. And it's like, at what point will this change? And it's kind of like giving me this idea that, you know, needing the graces of God to make something happen, to make something move, to make something change in a situation. And it may feel like once a blessing comes in, it's almost too late. It's a weird feeling that comes with that. It's like, this has already been done. You can't change it now. So let's just say, you know, as a big scheme, right? I'm not saying that this is what's happening at all, but it's like going through a trial of some sort, right? On a legal front, and the verdict is rendered, the consequence is put into place, and then a week later, 5 days later, I don't know why 5 days, but 5 days later, news or information around it comes in that would have been a complete game changer. And it could feel disappointing, like, because that information did not come in when it would have, most would consider it the most opportune time, somebody is chained to something. Something is being held up. Something is being confined as a result, and now there's a whole new waiting period at hand. So I don't know what you guys are dealing with, but it seems, I'm going to call it very serious in nature, honestly, because it does feel like it's a life-changing decision. It's a life-changing news or events, and it's going to start this new cycle that is requiring a lot of patience too, but also the need for someone or something to speak up about a particular situation. So it's quite a conundrum. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. Whatever this is very a difficult situation, to say the least. I do think that by January, Spirit's giving me January, something may start to shift around January 3rd. I don't know what's going on in the cosmos at that point, but this Nine of Wands coming out in the reverse, the Two of Swords. It's almost like somebody had given up on something here that says, like, you know, there's no point to this. I'm not ready to deal with this. I'm not ready to see this for what it is. If I say that, there comes the Seven of Swords. It's keeping it to yourself. It's hiding away. It's just like, I'm going to take what's left of a situation and move myself out of this and just kind of try to avoid it. But I do feel like there's a lot of three, Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles. Like, in order to come together, there's this external situation or circumstance that someone here is overseeing. I mean, you see that with the Three of Pentacles, that, you know, some kind of situation where it involves two people was overseeing something here. And there was only so much that you could do to get to a particular finish line, just because of whatever else was needed or is being needed just hasn't come to fruition right now. And see, patience, and there comes the Four of Swords with this. It's kind of like checking out on a responsibility aspect of having to deal with something. Going, I'm not ready to deal with this. And I seen that kind of come up in the collective reading that I did last night. But there's a truth. Talk about that communication. That Ace of Swords is clear, honest communication. It is a new start. It is a new beginning, a new potential to see things clearly, do things differently. The High Priestess is somebody is held back on a truth that would create this balancing act with that Six of Pentacles. It would create the balance, but it's almost like somebody is waiting on somebody else for, again, some sort of mercy, some sort of equilibrium, some sort of just stepping up to the plate and taking responsibility for something. And I don't feel like in the past, or even here I'm going to say recently, like right now almost, none of that's taking shape. So there could also be, Spirit is saying, a time crunch to a particular situation as well. Like the timing may feel off, or like there's been some kind of boundary that's been drawn that stops the nourishment from coming in to alleviate a situation. And this is requiring like a deep, I could call it an introspection of the self or a situation, but there is something here, you know. And I'm going to say, like, even a kidney donor, I don't know why that's a thing too. Like, I feel like you all are dealing with a very precarious situation in some form, right? Some more serious than others. But this is like, you know, maybe waiting on, you know, God forbid, some kind of transplant or something, and it just things aren't happening. I don't know why I want to use that as an example, but it's like waiting on some kind of something that's going to alleviate a problem, and it not coming in time. And it's praying, it's wishing for something to change. It's learning a lesson too around procrastination, and how, you know, when we don't make the moves when we need to. The Three of Wands it's to me, that is striking as some kind of stuck energy. It's like, I feel as stable as I can possibly be in a situation. What else am I supposed to do? I'm just going to stay with what I know because it's comfortable. I don't have to rock the boat. I don't have to cause an uproar. Nothing needs to change necessarily. I even said last night, and it's kind of giving me the same thing. It's like putting on a brave face and acting like everything's fine, or really underneath the surface, there's a lot more going on to this situation than what meets the eye. And it's like, I think that there's a little bit of an expectation that somebody is going to come in and make a game-changing decision, or offer something that is going to change the course and the direction. And I do think for some of you, at some point, there is going to be some kind of game changer that does happen and takes place, and it's like, there it is. But there's just, again, something very specific about the timing of it that may take 14 days, Spirit is saying. So I don't know. I think throughout the end of October, as we're pretty much at the midway mark here, there's going to be a requirement of patience. But I think in the meantime, like there comes that Two of Cups and Three of Pentacles again with this attachment card. You know, if you're dealing with a toxic situation when it comes to a partnership, you know, this could be even so much as like a marriage counselor coming in and going, listen, if you're going to make this work, you have to find a way to compromise. You have to find a way to collaborate. You have to find some purposeful direction, is what Spirit is giving me, to reconcile the past so that you can start on this new opportunity, this new growth. The problem with this, though, is like, it is requiring balance. And I don't know that everybody is on the same page at the same time to make that balance occur. Okay, so I hope that's making sense the way this is coming in for you. All right, let's see what else we got going on with this. All right, we're going to take the archetype deck here. Archetype deck, if I could talk. This might be the shortest October reading I've done. Seriously, like this is pretty straightforward. See, the fault line, there's a breaking of something here, Aries, that is needing to happen. And, you know, the fault line, you know, that's like where the plates shift. Things are shifting, and it's one's going one way, one's going the other, maybe one's going above, one's going below. Like there's something here that's like everybody's just trying to be like a placeholder as to where they already are. It's like, why do we have to shift? Why do we have to move? Why do we have to have forward progression? But I do think that it is time. There is some level of progression that needs to occur in this situation. See, the Maiden, again, something around, like, there's a lot to do with the breast too. So I don't know if somebody's dealing with some kind of breast issue or whatnot. I'm not a doctor, right? But I've seen that a couple of times here, and it's drawn my attention to this. But this is also like mother's milk, right? The nurturing of a situation that should be sweet and harmonious, and what it takes to, you know, to raise, I'm going to say raise a child. There's something here very much around new life, birth, creation, 1333 on the clock. With the village, you know, they say it takes a village to raise a child. It's for some of you, maybe you're feeling all alone in this, you know, like, I don't have that village to support me. I don't have this opportunity, you know, even if this is a new creation in your life on, you know, a work front or home or whatever. It's like, where is the investment from the other side in a particular situation that's going to create this growth, that it's not just being laid out on one person? Like if you're in a partnership, right, it needs to be sustained on both sides. Everybody needs to be all hands on deck. And it may not feel that way right now. All right, so what about this outcome here for Aries? There's a bunch trying to come out here. Let's see. The Vessel coming in the reverse. The Box. The Judge. There's the Justice and the Judge. Again, this is somebody that is finally in a position that is required to make a judgment call. I don't know why I keep going back to the motherhood aspect of things, but, you know, this could be somebody too who, I don't know, let's just hypothetically say you have a partner, you want to have children, they can't have children. It's like, how do we get past that? How do we move through this? If this is what I want and this is what you can't do, or this is maybe not what you want, and we're not finding ourselves on that same page of where our lives are going and what it is we're trying to accomplish here. It's jumping outside of that box. It's needing to look outside of the box for the answers. But it feels like, I think for somebody in this situation, it feels like they're not ready to move outside of that. They're not ready to open up to a new way. The vessel in the upright is everything is flowing freely. We become a conduit or a space for that creation. With it coming out in the reverse in this judge here, you know, you got somebody who's praying and you've got somebody with their hand out. It's like somebody's asking for some kind of reprieve in a sense, and the other one's going, what are we doing? What are you going to give? It's like, again, two opposite sides looking for different answers. 1555. One's seeing it and the other one is seeing, you know, somebody is wanting to see growth. The other one is going that this is done. There's like the only thing that is remaining in this is the bare bones of a situation, and where is there growth in that? There's not. So I do feel like there is Spirit, a lot of change on the forefront of how this is taking place and what needs to be done in order for new growth to be had in a particular situation here, Aries. It's a very unique aspect and energy that comes in with this that I don't typically see. But yeah, like it's... Spirit just said if we could only hear what we know to be true. And, you know, talking about that truth, and, you know, the throat chakra isn't just talking. It is also to be able to listen, right? To actually authentically hear things for what they are. There's something in that where, you know, somebody's doing the talking. Is somebody listening? Is someone being real about a situation as well? So let's see. Any words here? Poker face, taking a chance, risk, and options. You know, maybe, you know, let's call this for what it is. Maybe you're taking a risk or a chance on, I don't know, right? Let's just say you're having a night out and being irresponsible in some sense. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, Aries, sorry about that. You know, this is, you know, let's just say, as I was saying, like you go out and, I don't know, you're having a good night, partying, I don't know, whatever you're doing, right? You hook up with somebody, have a careless adult moment that's not so adult thought out, and, you know, you take that risk, you know, sexual oriented conversation here, right? Keep it as PG as possible. And, you know, maybe somebody wasn't honest about something, you know, or maybe you took that risk and now, you know, you're not sharing that information as to what's going on with you since then. There's just something very much about that type of energy that's coming through, Aries, and I'm not quite sure what that means for you, you know. And again, it doesn't have to be that, it could be something else as well, but needing to take a look at what that means for you and how that plays out. What is it that you took a risk on? What is it that now you're kind of feeling alone? And it's like, I gambled, I took a chance on something, and you know, it's not quite being as fulfilling as you thought it was, or in that moment, right? It was like a short-lived option that you took, and I think that you did take it in a very loving sense. But, you know, when we talk about not showing our hand, right? We're not being transparent about a situation. We're not showing where we're coming from at that moment. You could be finding, you know, maybe you met somebody and come to find out they've got a wife or a husband, or, right? They're just, it's something about lacking honesty and withholding something in a situation. And that's something here is being shown in some weird way that is going to have to be addressed. You know, it's like, I thought that this was going to be my ace in the hole. I thought that this was really going to be something fulfilling for me. And soulmates, you know, someone could have come into your life and gone, you know, I want to be your person. I want to be there for you. Or this job is showing itself like, yes, we're going to give you the world. We're going to do all these things. But it was an illusion to get you into something. It was an illusion to hold you in place in something that, it was like, was this all make-believe? Was this all pretend? You know, and right now with this eclipse season that we've had, and it will last for a while, like the energy of that last, the truth is coming out. You may be suspecting, Spirit is saying too, of the truth without getting the actual answers as well. But there is something very specific to that where things aren't showing themselves the way it needs to be. This could also be somebody, you know, in the sense of partnership coming back around, like, you know, you gave this person the opportunity and the chances to step up to the plate, to be a part of your world. And they wouldn't show up in time. And it's like, okay, you finally, like, I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to go, you know, not necessarily like hunt down somebody who's going to be a partner to me in this life, but somebody who wants to participate, right? Like, what has the same goals and aspirations that I do to move on, to find wish fulfillment, to find this stardom of a new life and this new journey. And now that you've moved on, a week later, you've had no communication with them or whatever the situation might be. All of a sudden, now here they reappear and they're like, okay, I think I'm ready. It's a little, and I've said this a couple of times over in some of these reads, Spirit, it's a little too late. So this, to me, Aries, is kind of circling back around to anything that you've had to have patience with. Anything that it's like you waited for someone to step up to the plate somehow. And they haven't made that choice. They haven't taken that road with you or you with them, right? I mean, this could be either way. There is some kind of soul contract in that says, you know, this is what we were supposed to learn during this cycle and with and through each other in this situation or with this person, right? See, have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation struck by love and death. Look, this is the same energy that I got from this Judge card, right? Like, I'm going to show this to you. I said it's like there's an eye that's viewing and peering into something. Ooh, maybe we can do this thing, right? You've got this skull here, this death of going, but what about me? Like, what about this? Can we resurrect this? Can we fix this somehow? You know, it's like, yes, I held that vision for a long time that we could heal this, that we could do something with this. But now I'm losing hope. What was that song? I can hear the tune to it. There was a song, oh gosh, maybe 10 years ago, like Don't Give Up on Me or something to that effect. I'm trying to think of what the words are. Something about don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. It was, I don't even know what you'd call the genre of music. Oh gosh, it's right there. That's going to drive me crazy now. Like, I'm losing hope. Don't give up on me. Something. I don't know. Google it. Guys, I'm so sorry. It's just not coming through. I can hear it. But other than that, don't give up on me. There's something about that line specifically, whether this is you saying this or this is the situation, right? Maybe it's a business going, listen, we still need you. Give us some time. And it's like, I have to think about what's best for me at this point. You know, I have to make a living. I have to take care of myself, right? I have to take care of my family. If you're dealing with somebody else, just, you know, again, hypothetical here, you're pregnant and this person's dealing with toxicity issues or they're making excuses as to why they can't get on board and step up to the plate and something. And they're kind of like gaslighting a little bit, going, I need you to be there. Like, you said you were going to be there. Like, but what's the cost? How much do you continue to risk? Simply, Aries, is the risk worth the reward at this point? And I think that's kind of how this is being viewed. And with that Judge card, like I just showed you, that eye and then that skull, look at these two cards that come out, Cupid's arrow and the Death card. You know, that heart, it's a forward pointed focus with that eye, right? To be in the view of. The arrow is pointing towards a certain direction, a certain place, a certain person, going, just have faith in me, you know. Let me come in, you know, love bomb you, maybe. Let me show you all the ways that I can show up for you. And the opposite side of that is, I don't think I've got anything left to give here. This is done. This is over, right? So between these two energies, Spirit, it's like two people here are making judgment. See, whoever is sitting in this death energy is ready for the next phase of life. They're ready to evolve and grow. And this is pretty much every single thing that I just said. Again, This Aries, possibly you going, you know, I'm ready for the next part of my life. I'm ready. I'm growing. I'm healing. I'm evolving from this, that butterfly energy. I'm ready to come out of my cocoon, out of that, and become that beautiful butterfly and release the past to step into this new world that I feel coming for me, that I'm ready to jump into. And this other person popping out with this Cupid's arrow is the snake. Competition. Like, I don't think that they are, I don't feel like they're vibrationally matching you where you exist. And it could be butting heads in the midst of that, right? Like, they're going, but I need this. And you're like, well, I want that. I deserve that. And whatever this third dynamic is, it pulls them back into a situation. You're always going to be in a space of competition with the ghost of the past with this person. And I think you know that. And what comes out at the bottom is the ship and Phoenix. Cutting ties, moving on, rising from the ashes. And, you know, somebody, no matter whether this is you or this other person or situation, or even both of you in your own right and form, feels like that there's not been honesty. There's not been forthrightness. It's like 10 of Swords backstab kind of energy, right? Like, you know, I gave you the opportunity to step up to the plate and do right by me, and you didn't, and now my feelings are hurt. My own expectations maybe got me hurt, or, you know, what you promised me was a bunch of lies. It's always wait a little bit longer. And for this person, I think that their lower vibrational self is looking at this as you didn't give enough to them, or you weren't doing what they needed you to do, so you're the one who hurt them. So there's like a double-edged sword of betrayal or heartbreak or pain that surrounds this situation, that's requiring the ability to move on. It's time to go. It's time to change. It's, you know, don't come to me with empty promises and then expect me to have your back for here to eternity. So there's a lot around that, Aries, in this. But, you know, is the risk with this situation worth the reward? Will there even be a reward when it's said and done? Okay. So I think that this is what you're going to see play out per spirit through the rest of the month. Ask for help when you need it. You're ready to expand and pivot. And I think that with that pivot, you are, Spirit, seeking wise counsel and changing your mind about, you could be even back and forth in your mind about, like, do I give to this? Do I not give to that? And if you were to change your mind to re-engage in something, it would take a lot. It's like having your viewpoint on something and looking at someone and be like, not that I'm not open to whatever you've got to say, but you're going to have to do a whole hell of a lot in order for me to change my perception on this, though, in general, because I've seen the history of this, and the history in itself is very heavy. So there is something to that, but this expansion is, you know, some of you, I rather want to say, like, this kind of, some of you could be going and getting, like, government assistance. Some of you could be dealing with therapists. Spirit's calling them co-counselors. I don't know what that means for you. But it's like, I do feel like you're open to hear things out, but I don't know that it's going to do a whole lot. But I think that it is important in this, though, Aries, that you do keep an open mind regardless. Because I think part of this experience is for you to learn about something in regards to having that open mind. That you can change your perspective, that you don't have to be steadfast and this is the only way I can see something. Maybe there is another way. Maybe there was some other information that maybe didn't fully make you change your mind and go from like a no to a yes. But it did help you understand a perspective of where the other person was coming from. But it also doesn't mean that you have to tolerate something, you know, having your boundaries as necessary. So Aries, there you go. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully this video, this reading was helpful to you. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Again, personal reads are open and available. The information for the email is in the description box below, the About section of the page. Channel memberships are open and available, and I'll be getting videos up there hopefully weekly. That's the goal. And let's see what else. Thank you if you were a donor to the Hurricane Helene relief efforts that we ran here for this past week. I appreciate each and every single one of you. I'm sending you all a ton of love. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.